Thanks for tuning in to No Wine in No Time. I'm your host Dave, and today we're live from Barolo in Piedmont, Italy, which gives us the perfect opportunity to talk about Piedmont's most important wine grape, and that is Nebbiolo. So DOCG wines, which is Italy's highest expression of quality, DOCG wines made from the Nebbiolo grape come and bear the names of the towns of Gemi, Gattinara, Roero, Barbaresco, and Barolo, which is where we are today. Nebbiolo comes from the Italian word nebbia, or fog, because it ripens very late in the year, and often late October and early November in this particular region have a characteristic foggy type of weather. Wines made from these grapes are very structured and age beautifully in the cellar and have a potential of aging for decades. Furthermore, these wines are aged before they even hit the market. Here in Barolo, a Nebbiolo based wine, or a Barolo, must be aged at least 36 months. Normally, the winemaker will age it 24 months in oak barrels and then an additional 12 months in a neutral vessel for a total of 36 months. Now, if your Barolo bears the word Riserva on it, then you know that that particular wine has had 60 months of aging, or a full 5 years of aging. So this is a wine that has had great care taken with it in the vineyard, in the winemaker's facility itself, and also in your cellar. So the aromas from this particular wine are characteristically full of tar and licorice and violets, which may sound odd, but when you give a little sniff, you'll certainly see how it works. Typically, flavors include cherry, tobacco, and leather with some firm tannins. Most would agree that Nebbiolo achieves its greatest expression in the town we're at today, which is Barolo. One of the reasons why is Barolo is not only full of microclimates, but full of micro soils. And there's two particular soils that I'd like to talk about. When we look at Barolo, it kind of split down the middle, and one side we have a soil type called Helvetian. And Helvetian is chalk, limestone, and calcareous soil. That gives it a certain minerality that separates it and makes it different from the other side of Barolo, where they have Tortonian soil, which is a fine clay with some organic material and lots of sand. So today we're going to taste a wine that's reflective of the Barolo region, and this comes from the epic winemaker Renato Ratti. Now, Renato Ratti is famous in this particular area because he was one of the ones that actually worked to pattern the land, draw up maps, and make sure that Barolo was very well defined, not only by geography, but also by terroir. So this particular one comes from his Marcinesco vineyard, and it is a 2013 very young Barolo. So if we take a look at this wine, we'll notice typical Barolo Nebbiolo type of color. It is transparent, very light, almost like a Pinot Noir, but don't be deceived by the light color. Obviously it's packing some significant tannins, which we'll get to in just a second. So if we swirl the wine and give it a little sniff, what jumps out of the glass is almost kind of riding behind an asphalt truck on a summer day. You have some tarry aromas. I definitely get some anise, some flowers. Think things like lilies and violets, really beautiful expressions of flowers. Now across the palate, wow, this particular wine hits the front end of the palate with some very nice cherry flavors, and then rolling mid-palate, you can feel the tannins come in and begin to grip your tongue. Very good acidity. We definitely get a licorice stripe in here, but certainly when we think of the body, the weight of the wine, it's definitely getting that from the significant tannins. So I'd mentioned before, this was a 2013. This is Renato Rotti's latest offering, but certainly one that could age for 10 years or more in your cellar. It's just really a baby in terms of Barolo wines. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to enjoy this Renato Rotti classic. And thank you so much for joining in. And please tune in next time, and soon you'll know wine in no time.